Hello and welcome to Tunis, Tunisia. I am back again with a new series for you guys. I'm currently in the capital of Tunisia, Tunis, which is also the largest city in the country, here in my Airbnb. I arrived here yesterday at about 3 or 4 p.m. Kind of just had a low-key night, went to sleep, slept about 12 hours. I arrived here from San Francisco, so it's been quite a long travel journey. I flew through Paris to get here, and I'm super excited to be able to discover this North African nation. This is my second time in Africa, both times being in North Africa, my other time being in Morocco, which I'm sure you guys watched that series. So I'm super excited. I love this region of the world. It fascinates me. There's a lot of history here in Tunisia, and I'm just super excited to see what we can get into. I have to charge my camera a little bit more because I forgot, of course, last night to charge it. And then we're gonna get in the car and head into the city of Tunis. I'm staying a little bit east, closer to Carthage, and discover the Medina and just kind of see what we can get into today. Look at some shops, talk to people, maybe get some local food and stuff. So with that being said, let me get my shoes on, head into the car, and let's head into Tunis. I did end up renting a car here in Tunisia. It cost me about $800 for a week. This is what that'll get you. So about 30 minutes later, made it into the central part of Tunis. The Medina's up that way. I just found this parking space here, and we're gonna head up there and check that out. I have heard pickpockets are a little bit of an issue here. I'm not super sure how true that is or whatever, so I have pretty much everything in my backpack, and then I have this Apple Watch, but I think it should be good, just holding the camera and stuff, but definitely gonna be on kind of alert when I get into the Medina area, just because I don't want to lose my phone or anything. Should be just like a 5 or 10 minute walk up that way. Let's go check it out. The weather here in Tunisia is really perfect right now. It's about 72 degrees Fahrenheit, really perfect. I'm here in October. I would say this is probably the best time to be here also because there's not a ton of tourists. I haven't noticed, most of the tourists I've noticed here are French, obviously, due to the history with Tunisia and France. But for the most part, I haven't seen too many tourists. I'm interested to see when I get more into the Medina and the other like touristic kind of area. If there's more, I'm not super sure, but so far I've been really the only tourist that I've seen so far here in Tunis. The white and blue streets that you can see behind me are super beautiful here in the Medina area. Super cool architecture. I think I'm getting a little bit closer. Kind of hard with Google Maps. Apple Maps doesn't work here, unfortunately. More of an Apple Maps person. Probably get some hate for that, but I think I'm making my way into it. The architecture in this Medina area is absolutely insane. I know I already said it, but it's so pretty. Almost Italian-esque, how tight the streets are with the beautiful different colors and stuff. It reminds me a lot in a lot of ways of Italy. The deeper and deeper I get into this area, it's coming to life more and more. So I think I'm getting a little bit closer. This has been really cool because most of my time so far was spent out near Carthage, which is a little bit quieter. I haven't been to the seaside of it, but the area in my Airbnb is a little bit quieter. Stopping here for a little bit of a meal in the Medina. Alright, this is our lunch situation. It's a whole lot of cats. There's cats everywhere. I'm starving, so I'm gonna eat this. I asked for shawarma, so I think it's just some shawarma, some spicy sauce and stuff, and some fries, so should be good. Super hungry. So after a bit of a walk, made it here into the more proper Medina area with a bunch of shops and stuff, as you can see behind me. And this is one of the most historic Medinas there are. I have a gate here that I'm trying to get to that dates back to 698 AD, which, if you think about it, is pretty fascinating. Reminds me a lot, similar to the Medina in Marrakesh in Morocco that I shot. Very kind of similar feel. Lots of shops, lots of clothes and stuff that you can buy. Super interesting, super historic. It's pretty cool. I'm attempting right now to make my way to a place called Avenue de France, which is a busy other shopping market, and the way to get there is actually through the Medina where I am here, and it's pretty similar to any other Medina that I've been to in Jordan and here, and as well in Turkey. If you want to shop and stuff, this is probably the place to do it, and they're not super pushy with trying to get you to buy stuff compared to some other countries I've been to, which is kind of nice because you can kind of actually take your time and look and see what you want and whatnot. The deeper that I get, the busier it seems to become. It's really coming to life here from where I started. I think I was in a quieter area, obviously, because things are really busy here, which is awesome to see. So I made it out of the Medina and I stopped for a little bit of a coffee, which cost me about 4 dinars. I'll put the conversion rate down in the description. Obviously it changes per year, so depending on when you're watching this video it might be a little bit different. But now behind me is like a big square area, and I believe that's the gate I was talking to you about. I'm gonna look on my phone. Oops, Siri's talking to me. Sorry about that. So yeah, it kind of is just a little bit out of the Medina. It took me quite a while because maps kind of messes up because of how tight the Medina is in terms of getting out, but I finally got out. Like I said, I'm heading to the Avenue de France, which is a big shopping street, and this is probably the busiest I've seen it yet since I've been in Tunis. So we're gonna explore around here a little bit and I'll get some better shots for you guys. So behind me there you can see the gates between the modern city of Tunis and the Medina. Very beautiful. Also known as the Porte de France. There, a little bit of a historic landmark here, and you can see how busy it is all around me compared to earlier. Things have really picked up, so not too sure where I'm headed next. I believe this is the Avenue de France. Here, the people are walking, so maybe go look at some shops and stuff, but just a really cool atmosphere, tons of bars and cafes you can go to for coffee and whatnot, and just a great vibe. It's super nice here in Tunisia. Super happy to be here. This is a country I wanted to come for a very long time, and it's great. And for Americans, you don't need a visa, which is super nice compared to like Algeria. You need a visa because I do want to go to Algeria, but the visa situation's a little bit difficult, and this was kind of a last-minute planned trip. So yeah, visa free, and it's super accessible to get here from Europe as well. You can see the area I'm walking in now slightly become a lot more, there's still a lot of shopping, but it's become a lot more modern than the Medina, which is the historical district here. And a lot of people out. Today is Saturday, so it's quite busy. In a lot of ways, shows a lot of cultural similarities to Morocco to me, and super cool. And it's my first time solo traveling since 2019, so it's really cool to be back backpacking by myself. Coming up here on, it looks to be a church. So the church that I came across that is behind me is the Cathedral of Tunis, which has been here since 1897. A little bit of history on it, which behind me looks to be right now is the French embassy. So it's super cool viewpoint here in the middle of the city. I don't know what that guy just said to me. If anybody knows what he said, put in the comments below. Might be good, might be bad. Might get kicked off YouTube, I don't know. But this is on the Avenue de France, and this is the Cathedral of Tunis. So behind me is one of the clock towers here. Hello. The people here are so nice. Just had a group of guys come up and ask for my YouTube channel. Super welcoming. The clock tower behind me, I'm trying to focus, lost my train of thought. The clock tower behind me, apparently it lights up at night, and it's a super cool place for pictures and stuff at night, I'm not sure. But behind me, or excuse me, in front of me, is a lot of like police stuff, obviously that I don't want to record, so I'm not sure what that is. But here, in the heart of Tunis, there's a lot going on. Hello and welcome back to day 2 here in Tunis, Tunisia. Yesterday I brought you guys around the city with me for a day of walking, exploring the Medina, and seeing some sights downtown. Today we are going to head a little bit east of my Airbnb out to Carthage and to a location called Sidi Bou Said. It's a beautiful, beautiful coastal town of blue painted buildings. You guys will say it's awesome. But right now, gonna get out of here, start the drive. It's about 1 p.m., a little bit of a slow start to the day. Having really bad jet lag today. I didn't sleep too much last night. With that being said, let's get in the car, head out, see what we can get into today. Hopefully a coffee as always. And yeah, let's do it. About a 10-minute drive later, made it here to Sidi Bou Said, which is a beautiful, beautiful seaside town here in Tunisia with some really, really awesome views that I'm about to show you guys. I saw a few driving up, but looking out over the ocean here and gonna see what we can get into. I'm not sure the hot spots here and whatnot, but show you guys what I'm looking at right now. This is the first glimpse of the ocean that I've seen so far. I'm now walking below where I was just up there, and I got a ticket to some sort of palace museum. I hear it cost me 10 dinars. I'm not super sure what this is, but the main reason I came this way is for the views, which I'm going to show you guys in a second, because it gets a little bit past the tree line to be able to see blue ocean. I can't speak today. Long night's sleep, or bad night's sleep last night, so bear with me today. But take a look, a little bit better views. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's some people down there on like little paddle boards and stuff. A lot of this white and blue architecture feels very similar to Greece, especially with the backdrop of the ocean. So behind me, I believe, is the palace that I got the ticket to, and then if you look out this way, there's beautiful views of the ocean behind me. And there is a little beach down there, which I'm gonna try to figure out how to get to. It looks kind of far down there, but I wanna definitely figure that out. And yeah, I'm gonna go check out the palace, but absolutely breathtaking views. Really, really looks, to me, in my opinion, similar to Greece, but wow, absolutely breathtaking. Research I've done, this palace was built between 1912 and 1922, and it was lived in by a guy named Baron de Erlanger. I'm sure I butchered that name, but a Tunisian who I believe is of French descent that painted there for years. So just a good representation of what life was like here for the higher class from probably just the early 20th century. So super pretty, especially with the Tunisian flag and the white and blue. Obviously with the ocean, just lights it up. But with that being said, I think I figured out my way to get down to the beach. I believe it's through these steps. Let's go see if we can figure it out. Update, the steps that I was going to take down to the beach appear to be closed. So I'm gonna head back. You can drive, or it's a 30-minute walk. I don't know which one I'm gonna decide. But I'm gonna walk a little bit more into the actual city because this is like a proper little city here, and see what decision I'm gonna make, because I do want to get down to the beach there, but I gotta head back up. I'm leaving the palace now. But man, if you are in Tunis area or just in Tunisia in general, I promise you, I've only been here for a few minutes and it's one of the most beautiful little towns I've ever seen, right on the seaside. Had a coffee and currently walking a little bit farther up into more of the shops and stuff, into the white and blue colored buildings. And a lot of like touristy little shops and stuff, but super cool, full of life. As you can see behind me, a lot of tourists, a lot of different shops, kind of busy. I'm heading the opposite direction of the beach right now, but I'm hoping if I go down that way, we can get a little bit closer. I think I might just do the walk, but kind of just trying to take in the sights and stuff. Stuff's super affordable here. I just had a coffee for 3 dinar, just compared to home is unfathomable the cost of certain things here. It's very, very affordable place to travel. And something else that's kind of interesting is if you look behind me there at the door, there's a lot of door culture here. That's like a huge thing with these beautiful painted doors and stuff. You can buy pictures of them at a lot of the tourist shops, and a lot of homes and stuff have different colored doors and with different designs on them, which is super, super fascinating and super beautiful. So I did a little loop around the town, took in a lot of the views, and now I believe I'm heading in the right direction of the beach. So it should be like a 13-minute walk. I'm super excited to get down there. The views look insane. But perfect weather here, like I said yesterday, October here in Tunisia. Can't beat it. It's about 70s, sunny every single day, a little bit of a breeze. Perfect weather. Unfortunately, this seems to be a common theme in different parts of the city, with a lot of trash, especially down in Tunis. I try to be as transparent as I can in the videos and not sugarcoat a lot of stuff, but trash, from what I've seen, is a little bit of an issue, at least in Tunis itself. Obviously, I'm traveling to different parts of the country, so I'll have a different opinion once I leave the city. The parts of Tunis and the surrounding areas near Carthage and stuff are quite considerably dirty. Then there's other parts that are super clean, so I'm not super sure, but there is quite a bit of trash throughout the city. So I made it down here to the beach finally, about a 15-minute walk later. The shots I just took were to my left, the city, Bou Said, poured a bunch of boats and yachts and kind of thing, and kind of just walked up to the rocks, which took you up to the seaside. And now I'm just looking out over the water. I started above me, is where I was originally. At the top, it kind of just looped down. So probably gonna stay here for a little bit and figure it out, but it's pretty busy. It's Sunday here, so there's quite a bit of people on the beach, but super beautiful views. And honestly, like with the mountains and stuff in the farther distance, it almost looks like Tahiti. Hello and welcome back to day 3 here in Tunis, Tunisia. I'm out near my car because I have a very interesting story to tell you guys that happened last night. I wouldn't recommend illegally parking here in Tunisia. It wasn't an intentional thing that I did, but I didn't notice the red line when I was in City Bou Said, and I guess I ended up parking in a place that residents were only able to park, and I ended up really messing up my rental car because they attached a metal boot to the car and I didn't see it because there was no ticket on the dash. I went to drive and it went right up into the car. Luckily there were some people there to help me out. I don't know what I would have done if they weren't there, but take a look at the damage I did to the car. Most of the front bumper is hanging off and it went up in there, but yeah, so I don't exactly recommend legally parking here in Tunisia, or else you'll get in a little bit of trouble. They ended up having the police come and I think it was 40 dinars, and they removed it, but it was my own fault. I should have paid more attention, but it's kind of a funny story, but it was a little bit concerning because it was late at night, but luckily there's some nice people to help me out. So with that being said, today we're going to go explore Carthage and see some ruins and stuff from the historic areas of Carthage, and just kind of have a day. This will probably be my last day here in Tunis. I start heading out into the other parts of the country. So with that being said, let's enjoy our last day here in Tunis. So after about an 8-minute drive from my Airbnb, I've made it here to the Roman amphitheater, which should be first stop on our tour of Carthage. Can't speak today. There's baths that are down closer to the ocean, which will be cool. But Carthage, obviously from the Roman period, Tunisia played a huge part in that history, hence So many Roman ruins here, and obviously this is quite a good place to see if you don't like a bunch of tourists. I mean, look at the parking lot behind me, there's really nobody here. Here at Rome in the peak season, I mean, there's so many tourists. So this is a little bit different, going to a place so much historical significance with not many tourists at all. Let's go check it out. I wasn't sure if you needed a ticket or not, but you do. Pretty empty. It's about 12 dinar, so super affordable. It's just interesting. I don't know if there used to be a lot more tourists here, but there's like a bigger infrastructure for it built, I feel like, than the people that are here. But anyway, I made it to the amphitheater. Let's take a look. It reminds me a lot of the one that I shot when I was in Amman, Jordan. Super, super similar. Take a look. So it's kind of cool. They have like a little stage behind me you can see. So I'm gonna go to the top, see what kind of view I can get. I can imagine being here during the summer. It gets so hot. Oh man. Because like I said, I'm here in October and it's quite nice, quite reasonable temperature, but I would assume they still do performances and stuff here because there's like cameras and other stuff over there. But let me go to the top here. Made it here to the top. Take a look at that view, and in the back you can see kind of similar views as to what we were looking at yesterday when we were in City Boo Said, the blue ocean and the mountains. What a breathtaking country. It's really nice to, I'm more of a person, I've said in previous videos, that doesn't like to be around a bunch of people, and coming to a place like this and seeing something like this is really, really awesome. Not the abundance of tourists. I highly recommend coming to Tunisia, especially if you're into history and stuff. There's a lot of that you can get kind of a better look at things than you would be able to in Rome and stuff, where it's just so condensed with people. So really cool experience. And like I said, if you're an American, no visa. It's been up to 90 days here, which is really, really awesome. Compared to other parts of North Africa, it's more difficult. Like Algeria and Libya both require visas. So just something to keep in mind if you want to visit this region of the world. It's a lot. This country specifically is very accessible for Americans. I can't speak on other passports, I'm not sure, but highly recommend. I've been enjoying my time here in Tunisia so far. Pretty sure that's it in terms of this specific site. The guy that I bought the ticket from said that the ticket got me into all the sites. Now I don't know if that means the ones that are spread out here in Carthage or what. So I'm gonna try and use the same ticket when I go down to the baths right now. I'm just gonna head back to the car. So I'm not super sure with that, but either way, I think I hit everything there is to see here at the amphitheater. So I'm gonna head back to the car, hop in the car, and drive about 5 more minutes down the road to the baths, which should have some pretty cool views because it's right on the ocean. After like a 2-minute drive, I made it to the next stop on our little tour here of the Carthage Roman ruins, which is the Roman villas. Bear with me, I know I'm not the most exciting individual right now. I'm really feeling that jet lag. It's crazy. I feel like it's such a brutal adjustment going east from the west coast of the United States to compared to Asia and the Pacific from the west coast. Like, when I came to Finland about a year ago from San Francisco, I just noticed such a brutal difference in the jet lag compared to when I go over to Asia and stuff. Way easier adjustment, so bear with me, I'm feeling it right now. Well, let's go check out these villas. I was correct with saying that ticket gets me into everywhere, because the man stamped it, and then I noticed there's each little site in Carthage they check off. So 12 dinars, really good deal. You can see behind me is most of the villas, and I'm guessing leading up this hill, so we'll go check that out too. But I gotta say, the lack of people here is really great in terms of not feeling overwhelmed and stuff. It's really enjoyable not to be surrounded by a bunch of tourists. I made it up here to the top. I'll take a look at these breathtaking views out over the ocean from these ruins. It really gives you an idea of how beautiful Carthage would have been back then with all of these buildings here. Wow. So I just made it here to the baths, and I think this is going to be the highlight of our little Roman Carthage tour. So looks like these are the most significant ruins that are still remaining, so I'm excited. Let's go check it out. I made it back into the car after about an hour of touring the ruins. I had a coffee afterwards and kind of just relaxed. Some interesting information that I found out from doing some research and reading some of the signs and stuff is these are the largest group of Roman baths, and I want to say ruins, don't quote me on that, because I know there's quite a few in Libya that are pretty significantly big, but they're up there for the largest outside of mainland Italy. And these baths were founded between 145 and 162 AD during the Roman occupation of Carthage. So super interesting. It's really cool to check out. Obviously, if you're in Tunis, it's a must do. It's really awesome too to look out into the sea to see how the port of Carthage is protected essentially by the two different walls of land that extend from Tunis, showing the significance historically of why this was such an important port. So either way, I had a really good time. I highly recommend it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do the rest of the day. I'm going to go get some dinner and stuff. Things close kind of early here. It's not a super late night spot. There's bars and stuff that are open, but overall it's not super like a late night place. But with that being said, I'm going to head into the city, get some food, and see where we go from there. And yeah. Quick update, I'm back in the car. The ruin thing, the additional one, didn't work out. I walked up to it and I guess there were some security guards there. It looked like it was closed. So I went and had a quick coffee. I'm gonna head to a little beach that's just south of here and see if I can just get some cool views of the sunset or whatever. It's like 4:45 right now. The sun goes down in about an hour. So a little bit of time. And then another issue with the rental car. This rental car has been such an adventure here in Tunisia, but the gauge for the gas has been at the same point since the time I left the airport. And I've driven quite a bit, so I'm not super sure what the deal with that is. I might just go get gas to be safe, but yeah, I don't really have a fuel gauge. That's gonna make things a little bit more complicated for driving out of the city. It's a little bit concerning, but yeah, we'll figure that out. So I made it to the beach here. It was about an 8-minute drive from where I just was. Take a look at how beautiful these views are. Not many people on the beach. Super clear water. Great place to watch a sunset. Tunisia is so beautiful. Hello and welcome back to Tunis, Tunisia. Today is my 4th day here. Gonna head out, get in the car, and I'm driving 2.5 hours south of Tunis to a place called Djem, which is an old Roman amphitheater which has some really awesome ruins, and I might be stopping in a few towns along the way. I'm super excited. This is gonna be my first time leaving the actual capital city here of Tunis, so let's go out, start the adventure, and go explore. Out of my Airbnb early today for the first time. The jet lag's been hitting me pretty hard, so it's nice to be up and early. It's about 8:30 in the morning right now. I've been up since about 6, but I just wanted to kind of get an earlier start on the day because I've been getting up kind of late. So that being said, let's head to Djem. just like that, 2.5 hours later, we have made it to Djem here in Tunisia. It took me, like I said, about 2.5 hours. There were a lot of tolls on the road. I didn't record a whole lot of the drive just because I was really trying to focus and get a flavor for what driving was like outside of the capital city of Tunis. There were a lot of tolls, but they were pretty affordable for the most part. It wasn't anything super extreme. It was usually 1 to 2 dinars, which 1 dinar is equal to 30 cents. So that part went good. If you are doing the drive, make sure that you have enough gas in the car. It's a little bit scarce between stations at certain points, but overall it was a really good experience compared to some other countries that I've done a longer drive on. Like in Turkey, for example, it was so expensive with tolls. So that part of the drive was good. Some beautiful scenes of the Tunisian countryside, and I'm super happy to be here. I'm super happy to see a little bit outside of Tunis. With that being said, I'm gonna stop talking and check out Djem. Today probably wasn't the best day to choose to not wear my contacts because it's so sunny. I mean, every day it's pretty sunny here, but either way, it's really bright. This is my first time really outside of Tunis, like I said, so definitely feels a lot quieter here and a lot more real. I feel like every capital city is hustling and bustling in pretty much every country in the world, so this is an interesting little taste of outside of the capital. So Djem, as you can see behind me, is in like a little city in and of itself. There's a lot of restaurants and stuff, so definitely after I check it out, I'm gonna grab a coffee and something to eat because I'm starving. But it's not just the actual amphitheater itself. I'm not super sure where the main entrance is. I think I'm heading the right way. I don't really see many tourists around. I don't really know. It is extremely hot here today as well. Compared to the past couple of days, I feel like it's been a little bit cooler. Really, really warm compared to home right now, especially here in October, so I think I'm getting closer. I think it might be around this way, not sure. Maps might have taken me in the wrong direction, but. All right, so I see people walking around in there, so that's promising. That means it's not closed. I will say this country is an absolute hidden gem in terms of going to super, hello, buongiorno. Super hidden gem of a country in terms of seeing. I mean, look what's behind me, and there's no crazy lines or whatnot. There's a few people in there, but if you're looking for some really, really cool history with no tourists, this is one of the places to go for sure. I'm hoping that that's the entrance, otherwise I don't know, because I'm about to have done a complete 360 and I don't really see anywhere else to enter, so let's give this a go. So I was right, that was the entrance, and it cost me 12 dinars, not bad, and it gets into the museum. I don't know where in God's name the museum is, but we have access. Wow, take a look at this, just above me. So crazy. The ruins that I've seen in the past 2 days are just absolutely insane to me. Just, it's so empty, and just here, it's amazing. This country is really, really incredible with what it has to offer. Look at that. Stairs leading into an abyss. Let's check it out. I just can't really express how incredible this is. Just in a place like Rome, and I have a lot of love for Rome, this would just never be possible. I mean, there's just such a lack of people in such a beautiful ruin, and you can just really, really get a feel for it yourself without feeling restricted. Like I'm standing right in the middle, and that's just something you wouldn't really be able to do in parts of Europe and stuff. Really, really amazing. This country, I can't speak highly enough of it. A lot of hidden gems here. So I made it up here to the second floor of Coliseum, Amphitheater, whatever you want to call it. And it's still just as mesmerizing to me. I mean, take a look at this view. Absolutely insane. Really, really recommend it if you're in Tunisia. I recommend Tunisia in general. If you're in Tunisia, this is a must. Definitely have to make the drive from Tunis down here. little bit of history on Djem. It was built in 238 AD when this was part of Rome, and it was used just like any other amphitheater, and it held up to 35,000 spectators. Later it was used as shelter by the people here from attacks from the Vandals, which came after, and from there on out it's kind of just been here. I said early in the 19th century it was used as kind of like a little market, but for the most part it's like one of the most well-preserved Roman amphitheaters in the world. It's really, really incredible. You can see why. Also, Nike shot a few commercials here, which is kind of interesting. So, super historic, super meaningful to especially Roman history, but really, really awesome. And I'm super happy I can say that I made the drive to come here. Totally worth it. Walking below the Colosseum here, the stage is like right above me. So, super cool. This is an area in the Colosseum in Rome you can't go to. So super, super cool to check out the quarters below, get to see the heart of it below. So really, really cool. Well, that was my tour of the old Djem. Highly recommend if you're here in Tunisia. Definitely worth a visit. Got it there behind me, and it did get quite busier actually after I left. So it does get busy, I guess, in the afternoon, but really, really, really recommend it. Great time. Let's go get something to eat. I'm starving. I'm back in the car. I had a quick coffee followed by some pizza. Before I get some judging comments on eating pizza in Tunisia, I have been battling kind of like a little stomach bug probably the past like 4 or 5 days here. I think I have pizza on my face too. This is real content here, folks. Yeah, I've been kind of battling a stomach virus. So I'm trying to stay away from any like meats, street food, so I kind of have been taking it easy. Tonight I'm probably gonna honestly go eat something at the mall, like just bready and not having any like fresh fruits and stuff on it, so, or fresh ingredients for that matter. So just want to put that disclaimer out. I gotta go find an ATM. I'm getting a little bit low on cash, and cash goes very far here. So if you are in Tunisia, highly recommend taking out a lot of money, because you can use card in like malls and stuff, but outside of Tunis it's few and far between. With that being said, let's go try and find an ATM here potentially, and then from there I'm planning on heading a little bit southeast of here to a town called Safax. Just gonna kind of check it out. It's about an hour from here, and then after that, probably check it out a little bit and head back to Tunis. Let's do it. So, change of plans. The jet lag is hitting me. I'm gonna head back to Tunis for the night, go back to my Airbnb and relax. And I'm planning on doing a full day in Susi. I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly. Sus. I want to do a proper day there, spend time there, get to know the city. And I was originally going to go to Safax. For those of you that have not driven in Tunisia, it's not very well lit at night, and it's not necessarily a place that I would recommend driving at night by yourself. I don't think anything would happen. It's just the roads are a little bit, in certain parts of the country, a little bit just rugged, and there's farmers and stuff that are on the side of the road and stuff and that kind of thing, and it's just not something that I have an interest in doing here at night, at least outside of Tunis. So with that being said, it's like 3:30 here. I'm gonna head back to Tunis, kind of have a little bit of a rest. It's been a long couple days here in Tunisia, and start again tomorrow and go check out Susi. I'm also planning on visiting the northernmost point in Africa, which is in Tunisia, and just enjoying the country a little bit more. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update on that. With that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope this provided any insight into driving here in Tunisia if you're looking at renting a car or doing a little bit of a road trip. Like I said, I would avoid driving at night. I don't think anything would really happen. From my research and my experience since I've been here, it's probably not something I would recommend outside of the big cities. I'm not saying at night inside of the cities is a bad idea. However, I would recommend probably avoiding that. So about 30 minutes out of the city right now, and I'm gonna go have a rest, kind of take an evening, maybe a coffee, and hopefully get this jet lag under control for the most part. Well guys, good morning to you again from Tunis. Starting the day off with a Coke Zero. I gave up soda about a year ago, but I've had a little bit of a relapse per se here. There's not a large abundance of sparkling water, and that's kind of my way of drinking a bunch of soda. But with that being said, this night was the best night of sleep I've gotten since I've been here. I slept a solid 8 straight hours. which was really nice. My sleep's been super broken. The second night I slept okay, but I had taken melatonin and I just felt super groggy the next morning. But this morning we are heading an hour and 45 minutes north of here to the most northern point in Africa called Cape Angela. Now, I'm not sure, I have mixed reviews. Cape Bon, which extends out from Tunis, which I guess there's an actual monument for the most northern point of Africa. Per the geographic points, the most northern point is Cape Angela. With that being said, let's stop at an ATM and hit the road. So about 2 hours later, I made it here to Cape Angela, and I went down behind me. I'm gonna show you guys the view out from here over the coast and stuff. But the place that maps took me was a super rugged road, and I really don't want to get broke down. I've already done enough damage to the car. So let's go check out this view, and then I guess I'm just gonna head back to Tunis. I'm slightly disappointed. I thought there would be a little more of a monument and stuff, and then I was looking on maps and I can't seem to find it. Either way, check out this cool view though, it was worth it. Coffee culture here is really good. Before I head back to Tunis, it'll take me about an hour and a half to get back. I was saying yesterday about driving here at night, so it's like about 3:30 here right now. So pretty soon I'm gonna head back because I don't want to be in the road too much at night. But, yeah. Back in the car, just had a quick coffee here in a nearby town, and I'm gonna head back to Tunis now. About an hour and 10 minutes, and there's a little beach town I'm gonna stop by on my way. I don't know, I'm a little bit disappointed with the way the day went in terms of, I don't know, I think the monument is down there, but I don't know, I just didn't want to press it with the car, so a little bit disappointed on the day, but have a little bit of an adventure for something we didn't expect to see. Let's go. Good morning, guys, from Tunisia. I'm in Tunis again. Last night, I didn't end up making it to the beach. I got a little bit hungry. I just decided to head back to Tunis. Today, we're gonna drive about an hour southeast of Tunis to a place called Hammamet. And it's a little seaside town. I've been told by multiple people to go visit. I don't really know what to expect. It should be pretty cool. I've looked it up online and stuff. It kind of looks like just a little beach town. So it should be pretty awesome. Let's hop in the car, head down there, and see what we can get into today. Let's go. So a couple interesting things here comes to getting gas. This is a country that you have to have someone pump your gas, which I know it's kind of hit or miss around the world. I think I said this in an earlier video, but I'm a huge sparkling water drinker, and there's really not any here. I found that kind of surprising that like even in supermarkets and stuff, it's kind of hard to come by. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's like a part of the culture here, as well as it's a huge coffee culture here, more so than tea, at least to what I've observed. You'll see a lot of people out drinking coffee and smoking compared to some of the tea cultures, which I feel like when I was in Morocco was more of a tea culture, which is still part of North Africa. So just some observations made since I've been here in Tunisia. Really been enjoying it. It's been a country that I've wanted to come to for a while, and I'm really glad that I can say I've been here. But with that being said, let's head a little bit farther south to this coastal seaside city and see what we get into. I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty awesome. An hour later, we made it here to Hammamet, just southeast of Tunis. And take a look at how beautiful this crystal clear water is and this beach. I'm super excited to be here. This is probably the most beautiful part of Tunisia I think I've been to thus far. There's Fort Hammamet in front of me, which I'm gonna go check out. I'm not sure if you need tickets or what the deal with that is. However, this is like one of the water sports capitals of the country and a very popular tourist destination. Yeah, I can see why. The water is gorgeous, beautiful beach, and it looks like there's a lot to do in the town too with like shops and stuff, so super stoked to be here. Let's check it out. There's like a little coffee shop over there looking over the water. It has my name written all over it, and yeah, let's check it out. This is the historical Fort Hammamet. was telling you guys about. A bunch of shops and stuff leading here into the Medina. Pretty quiet Medina. I'm not sure if you can get inside the fort or not. Find out up here. But a lot of shops behind me, but awfully quiet. Might be that time of year though too. Lots and lots of tourist stuff if you want to buy something here. Sure, at good prices. But I'm sure in Tunis it's a little more expensive. Look at all that. Just stopping for a quick coffee here in this cafe. Pretty cool little vibe. Some people smoking some hookah. I believe they serve lunch here as well. And there's a little sitting area down there where you can take your shoes off and kind of lay in the shade. Super cool vibe, especially with the sea looking out that way. So I just finished up a panini and a coffee, and I'm gonna go check out this fort. I believe the entrance is over here. I'm not super sure because I kind of went into the Medina when I first tried to get in, and I got distracted and wanted to eat. So I do believe it's up here. I will check it out. I was talking to some French tourists, and they were telling me that I believe it's like 8 dinars to get in, and I need to start spending some money because I only have a few days left here in Tunisia, and I have quite a bit of currency, and it's very, very cheap here, which is great, but I don't want to go back home with a bunch of bills, even though I guess I could technically use a currency exchange, but either way, let's go check it out. I figured out my way into the fort here. Again, another very, very mellow tourist attraction here that in any other place would probably be just filled with tourists. Checking out these cannons here. Pretty cool. I'm gonna have to read a little bit about the history because I'm not super sure. I will give you guys a little bit of a history lesson on it once I figure it out. However, I do believe there's some pretty cool views too of the little harbor and stuff, so let's go check it out. Take a look at this, guys. Now that is one heck of a view. Got the inside of the fort down here. It's pretty awesome. That's where I just was down there when I was talking to you guys. See the whole harbor. Pretty spectacular. Most of the history is all in French and Arabic, but I guess that's where we are right now in contrast to what everything used to look like. I know that this was a former Roman colony, and then I believe was inhabited by the Turks and the Spanish. I've been trying to read online about history, but it's kind of hard to find anything. Just left the fort. Like I said, it cost me about 8 dinars. If you're here in Hammamet, highly recommend checking it out. Has some super cool panoramic views of the ocean. Having a hard time finding any history on it, so if any of you history buffs in the comments want to help us all out and enlighten us. I believe the beach I'm looking for is up ahead of me, but I'm just walking on this little trail, as you can see, and it's just really beautiful taking in the views of the ocean and stuff. There's some people snorkeling, fishing. If you're here in Tunisia, this might be probably my favorite place that I've been to so far. Hammamet. It's an hour or less from Tunis. Highly, highly recommend. Super hidden gem here in Tunisia.